This is Chapter 5, Managing the Chart of Accounts List. In this chapter, you will learn what is the chart of accounts, how to add new accounts to the chart of accounts list, how to edit accounts, how to make accounts inactive, when and how to import accounts to your chart of accounts list, and how to run an account listing report. So we'll be working in our Luxury Lodging Incorporated company file. The chart of accounts is a list of accounts that is used to categorize business transactions. It consists of 5 primary categories: your assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. It is the backbone of the financial statements. If your chart of accounts is incorrect, you will have incorrect and unreliable financial statements. If you don't have an accounting background, you should have an accountant or CPA assist you with setting up the chart of accounts. The following is a brief explanation of the 5 categories that make up the chart of accounts, along with some examples. So first we have our assets. An asset is an item that your business owns. For example, inventory sitting in a warehouse is an asset until it is sold. The money you have in a business checking or savings account is also an asset. Liabilities. This is money that is owed to suppliers or creditors. For example, a bank loan or a balance on a business credit card are liabilities. Equity. The investment made by the owner or other investors is equity. For example, if a business owner invests $10,000 in their business, that money is considered to be equity. Then we have income. The sale of services or products is called income. For example, the sale of lodging services by Luxury Lodging Inc. is income. Books sold by a bookstore is the sale of a product and considered income as well. And lastly, expenses. These are the outflow of cash to support the day-to-day operations of a business. For example, rent, utilities, and insurance payments are categorized as expenses. Assets, liabilities, and equity accounts can be found on the balance sheet report, and income and expense accounts can be found on the income statement, also known as the profit and loss or P&L statement. So next we'll show you how to add new accounts to the chart of accounts. While the chart of accounts list for Luxury Lodging Inc. has a few income accounts already, the CPA has asked you to add a couple of accounts to keep track of Larry's income. Therefore, you will add the following income accounts to the chart of accounts list. We're going to be adding vacation property rental income and also income from other services. So your book, it looks a little different than we have on screen now. So I'll show you how to go about adding some accounts to your chart of accounts. So first, to open up your chart of accounts, you're going to go to your left-hand menu on your screen, and you can hover over the All Apps option, and this will give you a secondary menu. You're going to then hover over the accounting category, and from that third menu, you can scroll down and choose Chart of Accounts. So this will show you all of the accounts that are currently created in your company. So when you chose what kind of company you were creating in the beginning when you were setting up your QuickBooks file, QuickBooks automatically created some accounts that it thought you would need based on the company type. So we had, what was it, the real estate or construction, real estate type company. So it thought that these would be some accounts that we would need to use for that company. Now, in your textbook, it's going to tell you to edit some accounts, and the accounts that were added by QuickBooks aren't necessarily what they want us to edit. So we didn't get all of those accounts, so to speak, in our chart of accounts that they want us to edit. So we might have to create, an example account and then edit it, or you can go ahead and choose the account that I choose to edit as well. So you can just follow along with what I'm doing. So with our chart of accounts open, if you take a look, they're organized by the account type. So it starts with accounts receivable, then it will go into any other types of assets. So we know that accounts receivable is an asset account. Then it goes to other current assets. And if you keep scrolling, we have fixed assets, other assets. Then we have all of our liabilities. You can see accounts payable, other current liabilities. So these are organized by the heading here, account type. After other current liabilities, we have long-term liabilities. If you keep scrolling, then we have our equity accounts, and then we have our income accounts. We have cost of goods sold. Then we have our expense accounts. And I'm going to click next to move to the next page of my chart of accounts. We have more expenses. Then we have other income accounts, other expense accounts, and then on the last page, mine finishes with other expense accounts as well. Also, I just want to point out, let me move back to the first page of my chart of accounts. If you take a look under the account type, you'll notice that it has this little green symbol, BAL, next to the account type name. That's signifying that this account would show up on your balance sheet financial record. And if I scroll down, so all of my assets, my liabilities, and also my equity accounts, again, go on my balance sheet. Then when you move into your income and expense accounts, these are shown on the P&L, or the profit and loss statement, also known as the income statement. Okay, so it actually signifies what financial record it would be shown on, those particular accounts. So that's actually very good to know. All right, so with our chart of accounts open, we're going to create 2 new accounts. So up in the bottom right corner, here we have the green button, New Account. I'm going to click on that, and it opens a little pane to the right where I can add this new account. And my first one that I'm going to add, this is on page 5-4, tells us the account type. We're going to choose income. We scroll down, and under the income category, I'm going to choose income. Then the detail type is going to be service fee income. And my account name is going to be vacation property rental income. Then in the description field, we're going to enter income from property rental. And then down in the bottom right-hand corner, we can hit our Save button, and it brings us back to the chart of accounts. Now, if we scroll through, remember we added this as an income account. Here we have our vacation property rental income account with the detail type as service fee income. All right, then we're going to add a second account, so we can scroll back up and Click our new account button again. And this one will be named Income from Other Services. Again, the account type is going to be income. And the detail type, service fee income. And the description is going to be dry cleaning, trash pickup, and housekeeping. Click our Save button. And again, we can scroll through. And here we have now our income from other services. Income account type and detail type service fee income. And again, our income accounts will be shown on our profit and loss statements. All right, next we're going to see how to edit an existing account. So at times you may need to make changes to an existing account. You can make changes to the account name, detail type, and description at any time. However, if you have used an account in a transaction, you will not be able to change the account type. This is due to the fact that the recorded transaction is tied to a financial statement. However, if you find that the account type is incorrect for an existing account, you will need to create a new account and move each transaction posted in the old account to the new account. So Larry has informed you that he will be hiring someone to provide landscaping services. As a result, he would like you to add an account to the chart of accounts for this expense. For the sake of efficiency, you have decided to edit an existing account instead of creating a brand new account. Now for this one, it tells you in number 1 on page 5-6 to click once on the other business expenses account. I do not have that account, so this is one that originally QuickBooks would create for the company type that we created for our company file. QuickBooks Online doesn't necessarily automatically create that account anymore, so I don't have that in my chart of accounts. So I'm going to just create that real quick. Oops, I'm going to hit New Account. I'm going to name this Other Business Expenses. The account type is going to be Expenses. And the detail, we'll set this to Office General Administrative Expenses. And I'm not going to put a description for now. I'll just save this. And now let's find that in our chart of accounts so we can make some changes to it. So I'm going to scroll down to my expenses categories. Might have to move to the next page, which I do. Okay, and here I have other business expenses shown now, Office General Administrative Expenses. So to edit an already created account in your chart of accounts, next to the Run Report link, we have a drop-down arrow here. And from that drop-down, I can edit. And it's just going to open that same window again where you can make changes. So we're going to make the following changes. We're going to change the detail type to Other Business Expense. And we're going to change the account name to Landscaping Services. And we're going to add a description of gardening upkeep for all properties. And click Save from here. Now in my expenses account type section, I'm just going to scroll down and you can see that my other business expense account is no longer shown here. But if I go scroll back up, now that has been changed to the landscaping services expense account. So you can make changes. Again, this is for, for the most part, accounts that have been created by QuickBooks that you won't necessarily be using. So instead of creating a brand new account, you can just edit one that's already been created that you wouldn't use in your company. All right, on the bottom of page 5.7, how to make accounts inactive on the chart of accounts list. As you have learned so far, it is safe to add and edit accounts whenever required. However, it is not as easy to delete accounts. The primary reason why is because if an account has been used in a transaction, it is tied to financial statements. Having the ability to delete accounts would remove all historical data, which is not something that you want to do. Therefore, QuickBooks allows you to inactivate accounts instead of deleting them. When an account is made inactive, it disappears from the list of accounts, but it still remains in the system. You may want to inactivate an account that you no longer wish to use. So in the first step, it tells you to locate the Ask My Accountant account, and this is an expense account. This is another account that was not automatically created for my luxury lodging. So I'm just going to go ahead and create it real quick. I'm going to go to New Account. The account name is going to be Ask My Accountant. This is going to be an expense account. And then our detail type, we'll set this to we'll do other business expenses and then save this. We're not going to be using it in any of our transactions, so don't worry about a description or anything like that. So we want to find that now on our chart of accounts. So here I have Ask My Accountant. So if I wasn't going to be using this anymore in my company file, again, I don't want to delete it, but I can make it inactive. And to do that, you hit that drop down arrow, same as we did to edit the account. But this time, here we have the option to make inactive. So I click on that and you'll get a window. This will complete any pending transactions associated with this account. Existing transactions won't change or become inactive. This won't permanently delete the account. You can always make it active again. So we're going to click on Make Inactive. And now you can see in my expense account that in my expenses account type group, the Ask My Accountant account is not shown here. But if I wanted to still be able to see it in my listing for my chart of accounts, if you scroll up to the top of your chart, here we have another gear icon. Don't get it confused with your settings icon. This is different. This is the actual settings button for the chart of accounts. So if I click on this, this allows you to choose what columns on your chart of accounts are shown. But in the other section, we can also include any inactive accounts. So when I click on this and close out that settings, I'm going to scroll down to my expenses group. And you can see the Ask My Accountant account is shown. But in parentheses, it says it has been deleted. Now, it's not really deleted. It's still alive in our company file. It's just been inactivated. And you can see I can't run a report on this particular account because it is inactive, but I can make it active again. So it's not, it's not an action that can't be undone. You can always make your accounts active again. All right, now we're going to take a look at how to import accounts into your chart of accounts list. So if your CPA or accountant provides you with a chart of accounts list, you can easily import that list into QuickBooks as opposed to entering each account manually. The Excel worksheet must include the account number, if applicable, the account name, type, and detail type. A copy of the Excel template for the chart of accounts can be found in the Chapter 5 exercise folder. So before I show you how to import, I'm going to show you where that template is located. If you open up your File Explorer, which is the manila envelope on your taskbar, and you navigate to your home drive, this PC, double-click on your home drive, QuickBooks Online, double-click to open that folder, and then double-click to open Chapter 5. Here we have COA import template. So that's chart of accounts import template. I'm going to double-click to open this, and it's going to launch in Excel. And this, technically you don't need this. You just need the account headings. And then you could edit these accounts however you wanted. So the account name, whatever you were naming the account. So you could make a long list of multiple accounts and then import them, with one step. Instead of individually going and adding accounts like we just learned how to do, making new accounts, you could do it for multiple accounts in one step. So you just need to fill in the particular information. So this is just example information shown here. Okay, so you could use this template to do that. You would just make your changes, save this, and then I'll show you how to import this Excel worksheet into your QuickBooks Online account. All right, so I'm going to close that out. And to import a chart of accounts list, you'd scroll up to the top of your chart of accounts. And from the drop-down arrow next to New Account, you have the option to import. And this is going to open up an Import Accounts window. And to the left here, you can browse your computer for a file that you've created. So you can use that template that I just showed you. Again, edit the account names and whatnot, all the details that you would want to include to upload. You would hit your browse button. Again, navigate, for us it's in our home drive, but wherever the file is saved, for your own particular, real life company, you would go to where that file is saved and just select it. So I would go to my home drive, Again, QuickBooks Online, Chapter 5, and we'll actually be importing a file from the Chapter 5 Chart of Account import file. We're going to be doing this in the practice activity at the end of Chapter 5. So I'm not going to do it now, but these are the steps that you would take to import that file. So we'll see how to import those. I think it was 5 example accounts that I showed you on that Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to cancel from here, but that's all you would have to do. Hit the browse button, go to the file and select it, and then it would take those accounts from your Excel and it would add those into your chart of accounts. Okay, the last thing we're going to look at in Chapter 5 is how to run an account listing report. This is on the bottom of page 511. To review the accounts you have set up in QuickBooks, run an account listing report. This report can be downloaded as a PDF document or exported to Excel. In addition, you can share it with your accountant or CPA by sending it via email or printing a hard copy. So to run your account listing report, let me exit out of this window here, bring me back to my chart of accounts. At the top of your chart of accounts, here you have the Run Report button. When I click on that, it's going to run the chart of accounts listing, and you can see you get an actual document of what your chart of accounts would look like. All those headings that are included, the full name of the account, the type, the detail type, description, and if that account has a balance, it will list it there as well. And at the top right corner of your report, you can refresh it in case any changes have been made. You could email this document, you can print it, or you could export it. So if we wanted to maybe save this as a PDF, I could hit my export button. You can see you can export it to Excel, PDF, or CSV file. So we can choose export to PDF. You could change your print settings if need to, and then at the bottom you have the option to save as PDF. And you can see automatically is going to save it to your downloads folder. If I click on this to open it, so this is how it would look when printed out. So if I wanted to save that into my home drive, because I can't access any files that are saved to your downloads folder, anything that I need to see as far as assignments go need to be saved somewhere in your home drive. So in the top right hand corner, you're going to hit this down arrow, which is your download button, and you're going to go to this PC. This is just showing you how to do it. You don't have to do it for this particular account listing. I just want to show you how to do it because you will be doing it in the practice activity at the end of the chapter. Open up your home drive, QuickBooks Online. We're in Chapter 5, and I'm just going to name this. We'll name it Example COA, Chart of Accounts List. And then hit Save. So now that PDF is saved in your Chapter 5 folder. So you will be doing that. You're going to be doing a few more steps at the end of the practice activity, and then you'll be saving your updated account list as a PDF to your Chapter 5 folder. All right, so I can close that tab out and bring me back to my QuickBooks Online. I can close out of this window. So I'm still on my report. I want to go back to my chart of accounts. So remember, all apps, accounting, chart of accounts. So your next video, I'll be showing you how to complete your practice exercises steps. But just to go through them before you start them, you're going to try to do them on your own, and then I want you to watch the video in case you get stuck. But at the bottom of page 5-12, your practice exercises. So you're going to download and save the Chapter 5 Chart of Accounts import file to your computer. You don't have to do that. It's already saved in your Chapter 5 folder. Remember, I showed that to you? It's in your home drive, QuickBooks Online folder, and your Chapter 5 subfolder. So it's already there. Don't worry about saving it. This file is located in your Chapter 5 practice exercise folder. So don't worry about number 1. You can skip that. But number 2, you're going to use the step-by-step instructions in the chapter to import the accounts in the Chart of Accounts import file to your QuickBooks Online account. So you're going to use that Excel file in your Chapter 5 folder and import it into your Chart of Accounts using the steps that we went through. Number 3 says to edit the accounts that were imported to include a description. Refer to the Chart of Accounts import file for the description information. So you can open up that Excel file and your description might not import in. So if it doesn't, you're going to go in and edit each of these accounts and include the description of each. Okay, so just open this up to view it, and you can just copy and paste it into your QuickBooks Online while you're editing each account. All right, and number 4, make the following account on the Chart of Accounts inactive. Job supplies. I don't believe that's in your Chart of Accounts. So just like when we went through these steps where we just created it and then made it inactive, go ahead and do that. You can make job supplies an expense account. Don't worry about what you choose for the detail type. We're not going to be using it. We're just going to make it inactive. So create that job supplies account and then make that inactive. And then finally, you're going to run the Chart of Accounts list report, export it as a PDF file, and you're going to save it in your Chapter 5 folder as the name they indicate, Chapter 5 _ Chart of Accounts report. You don't have to submit it to me. I can access it through your home drive in your Chapter 5 folder. So our next video will be going through those practice activity steps.